Hey, hello everyone. This is probably the most relaxed you'll ever see me. I know it's a couple days after we started, but I been having some good questions about the assignment, so I figured I'd try something different. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So you should be able to see this. That just happens to be my first period class, the latest post of Snapchat Tuesday. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to go to the classwork and just clarify. So activity one is you click on the Google. If you want to nominate, you have till noon tomorrow because I want to get the banquet stuff figured out for what I'm going to do for you guys. When you're doing the picking a side, I'm going to open this up. Hopefully you read the learning targets because that's our goal. A lot of people are not doing well, which I kind of expect because there's some tricky things and it's a prediction. We would have done this as a prediction activities groups in class. So you do those three, but then you hit next. Oh, I guess I need to answer. Okay. Bear with me. Sorry. There we go. You hit next. And then as you can see in purple, it says you must then like answer that question to me in an email. Some people are not answering that, so you're not getting any credit for this activity. Some people are also just rewriting the arguments instead of actually giving their own extended arguments and having to redo it. So make sure that you topic sentence, who did you pick? And then here's my first reason, explain why. Here's my second reason, explain why. Here's my third reason, explain why. So I'm going to close. I'm going to go back to this. Our task 3, goals of the war. So if I go to view the assignment, oops, let's go back. Wrong thing. It is a Google Doc that you use the video for. So put the video on one side and put the Google Doc on, or the video on one side, Google Doc on the other, answer them at the same time. You just share it with me. You're good, not complicated. Then when we go to the early conflict, once again, there is a passage that is actually in the Google form if memory counts. Yep, you've got this, and when we look back at it, I've actually got the image bigger if you need to do a split screen there. But when we go to this, make sure that you're actually like, I don't know, it talks about Fort Sumter. So read the Fort Sumter paragraph, find the information, and put it right in. This isn't a quiz. I just figured this would be an easier way for me to get data to figure out what to go over, because next week we are going to have one more required Zoom to go over any things that were weaknesses in all of my students. So you got to get this stuff done, preferably by Friday. But don't wait till don't be late on stuff, because then next week won't help you. I'll be going over the answers and it won't be good. But you go through all this stuff, same thing, you submit, check your answers as always. The Emancipation Proclamation, same thing, yet another Google form. I tried to save you on energy. Make sure that you're actually reading and going back and forth on these questions. When you get to the next, which I would have to click on answers, I'm not going to, it has you going over the actual primary source. This is the hardest one of the week, this whole activity, and it might confuse. We're going to go over this next week. The longest activity is this life during the Civil War. So there is a riddle thing to play around with that we would normally do in class that I've had like 3 or 4 people submit already. And then there's a Word document that has 4 passages and 2 or 3 questions at the bottom of each of them. I added this Brady questions because apparently in what I shared, and I apologize I didn't catch it, it cuts off question 1. So there it is for you. And then you don't have to use the template that I gave. If you want to put it on slides or you want to write it out your own way, I don't care. Just make sure things are neat and clear. Don't go with pronouns, go with proper nouns. Show me that you're given some time. But this will actually take some time because there's a lot to read. And then the last one, the Civil War collage, follow the directions. It's the culminating activity. It's due next Friday. So you've got a big chunk of time. You will have some stuff next week. But that's why we're doing the Zoom, because, and it'll probably be, I'm only going to make the Zoom available like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. I gave you like 10 chances last week. I'm not doing 10 Zooms again. It was just, It was too much. It honestly took too much out of me. It was just too many times. So if there's a better time in the day, you need to email me this week by Friday so you can be like, Mr. Matheson, if you are going to do one at night, can you do it at 8? Or can you do it at 8:30? I'm willing to do maybe one, maybe two of those, but you got to remember I have a wife and a family too. I'll do my best. If you guys reach out to me, I can at least plan. I'm not doing anything 9 o'clock or later. No offense. I'm not doing one at 1 a.m. when most of you are up. Sorry. It just is what it is. So hopefully this helped out a little bit. If you don't need it, then you won't look at this and we will go from there. Just put your best effort into all of these. You're still trying to work on strategies that are going to help you be ready for next year in your future. Reading comprehension, finding this stuff. This is probably a better example of how the real world is going to be because you're going to have these resources and you're not going to have somebody right there to help you always. So it's a good kind of, okay, have I improved? Can I fight through this on my own without someone explaining the directions over 4 or 5 times? Okay, I know it's a little different, but it's not a bad test to play around with. So please let me know. Please make sure that you're actually checking your email as well and looking over the email that I send every single week. It always says US history update, like student update or student version, and then it has the week. Make sure you look at that. It goes over everything. It's like a better weekly schedule. Just scroll through stuff that you don't feel you need and look at the headings and the highlights and go from there. So it's probably taking too long, but I hope that it will help. Have a good evening once I can stop recording.